We don't quite know what Brock is going to look like coming off of injury heading into training camp. We don't quite know what's going to even, what's even going on with Trey Lance. I'll tell you what. I had someone tell me this just recently. They believe that Sam Darnold, in that match with Kyle Shanahan out there in San Francisco, that could finally be the spot that totally makes him become the out of nowhere surprise of the year. I had someone who I trust implicitly when it comes to quarterback play. I'm telling you, I said to him, I was like, what? They're like, just trust me on this one.
Well, the question is because this is one of the biggest mysteries of the NFL right now going into the playing season. Once again, is the San Francisco 49ers quarterback situation. Purdy, and I don't bat an eyelash on it because they make the NFC Championship game last 2 years with the same damn thing going on, right? So that's my question for you. It's like, how do you think, like, crystal ball it for me, this plays out where Purdy's not ready yet and Darnold, they decide he beats out Lance in camp? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
And then he's a week one guy?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly. That would have to be the scenario. And look, there's nobody who's a bigger Trey Lance fan than me. There may be, but I'm a huge believer. I couldn't be more disappointed for how things have happened for him. So I'm inclined to go, look, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. He deserves another opportunity. He got hurt. We just don't know who he is. But if you look at their offense, all right, so starting off at week one,
mm-hmm.
All right, week one, what has been like the number one bugaboo with San Francisco, quite honestly, over the past couple of years anyway? It's always been about availability, guys being able to stay healthy and stay on the field. Otherwise, who knows? They may be a team that could have been undefeated at different points over the past couple of years. But now we're saying, okay, are we banking on Christian McCaffrey staying healthy for 17 games? Are we banking on Elijah Mitchell staying healthy for 17 games? Are we banking on George Kittle staying healthy for 17 games? This offensive line, are we banking on Trent Williams staying healthy for 17 games? The right side of their offensive line between Spencer Buford and Colton McKivitz, who are their right guard and right tackle now. Are we saying that these guys, like, they have one elite player on their offensive line, one. And he's not always healthy all the time. Debo's not always healthy all the time. So although this team has a bunch of studs, this offense has a bunch of studs, like, there's a lot of questions there for me. And I'm just saying, relative to what Seattle is doing right now, LA's out of it. Arizona just needs to figure out who the hell they are in the first place. I'm just saying Seattle, to me, looks like a team that made a huge jump last year. And with the firepower they added this offseason, I think Seattle is ready to really, really burst onto the scene. The rest of the teams, look, the normal suspects are going to be there. Philadelphia on paper, it's just like, this isn't even fair. It's not even fair what they're putting together. But we know football isn't played on paper. But damn, when it's team building, it's not just talent collection there. It's team building. What's happening there? You have all these guys who knew each other since they were young up-and-comers in college, who are now there to support one another and help one another grow into professionals. All these guys from Georgia. That, you can't quantify that, like how important that is. That's huge. The reason why people like to build their teams through the draft is because it kind of mimics the atmosphere that you create when you bring in recruiting classes. They all feel indebted to that particular college because, hey, we're the recruiting class of 2023, 2024. We're going to be the guys that kind of take the responsibility of building this program up or keeping the tradition going. Well, they want to build that same thing in the pros. Although you're getting paid money, they love when young guys come in and they all kind of rally around each other and they all say, hey, look, the Philadelphia Eagles, it's our squad now. We're going to run this thing, and we're going to run it at a real high level, and we're going to get paid a lot of money for it. Well, now they have a chance to do all that with these young guys, all from Georgia, who are top-line players. And the thing about these guys, too, they don't have to just rely on each other. Just think about now what Jalen Carter has in front of him in terms of people who can mentor him. Fletcher Cox is the ultimate professional. Nolan Smith in his meeting room every day is going to be Hassan Reddick and Brandon Graham. You can't get better mentors than that. So not only do they lean on one another with Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, and all these guys, Nolan Smith, even DeAndre Swift on the offensive side, they have studs around them who've already done it, who came back on one-year deals because they say, hey, look, we were maybe a play here or there away from toppling Kansas City. We're going to get back. And now we're even strong. I mean, that's just – look, I don't know if they did that by design or if the board just fell that way and it just happened to all line up. But somebody's living right in Philly, man, because it's not supposed to add up that way. And I think we're sitting there on the desk that night going, are you kidding me?
I know. We were all like, it's just one of those type of horror movies, right? Where it's just like, okay, the killer's in the house. Like, you know, why are you walking in that room? And then Nolan Smith drops down. Like that's the way we were talking about it on our set. It's just like, come on, we've seen this movie before. What are you doing? You know, and you know, Ringo wound up there too. It's just like, okay, you know,
I didn't even mention him. Right.
It's kind of
who he gets to learn from. He just learned from James Bradbury.
And Slay.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.